Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In The Mix as we continue episode 168 of our FC Isle of Man series. We've got another big episode today. If you haven't gone and checked out yesterday's episode and Monday's episode, go and check those ones out. They kind of set up our run home in the second half of the season, our Champions League story to date, where we're up to in that competition, and that's pretty much going to follow on in this episode because we've got the draw for the quarter and semi-finals of that Champions League competition, and we're also going to probably play our quarter-final matches, both legs, home and away. We're going to try and bring you as much of that competition as humanly possible right up until we get eliminated. Hopefully that's not jinxing it and we're not going to get eliminated in this episode, but there are some huge teams still in the draw. Let's jump straight in, see who have gone and watch the draw live. So as you guys can see, we're currently sitting in top spot just on goal difference. A win last time out, a draw for Chelsea sees us draw level with them. 30 games played, 21 wins, 6 draws and 3 defeats for the season, plus 49 goal difference is all that separates us from them in second position. We're in great form at the moment. We've got a fantastic run home, albeit with some tough sides. We've got Tottenham to come, Liverpool as well, but then Wolves, West Brom, Everton, Leeds, Watford, all winnable games to finish off the season. We've got Southampton up next in the league as well, which is a game that we should be winning at home if our form is to continue the way it has been. Of course, in yesterday's episode, we played 3 games. We had Schalke, both legs, getting beyond them after a 3-1 victory in the away leg, and also won the Carabao Cup, a 1-0 win over Arsenal. We did play 2 games since yesterday's episode. We beat Bournemouth 3-1 quite comfortably in the league. They never really challenged us. It was 1-1 for a little bit after 30 minutes, but we put the foot down. Ruben Martinez getting a double and Castro getting a goal after 78 minutes to seal the points there and put us top of the division. We then also had our FA Cup 5th round replay against Manchester City, a side that have given us a bit of trouble throughout the years. It was 1-1 in the first leg. We scored after 46 minutes. They scored after 86. And a similar story in the second one as well. Martinez after 60 minutes. We went down to positive, made a couple of subs. They pulled one back on 68 minutes and it eventually went to penalties. They scored 5 straight. We missed 1. Lucas Gabriel missing from the spot. And that was enough to send them through to the next round. So our FA Cup defense has fallen at the 5th round replay, but you know, it's a good side. We would, no matter when you're playing Manchester City, they're always going to be a challenge to go up against. We've got games against Southampton and Tottenham, which will be played in this episode, but you guys won't see them. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the Champions League quarter-final draw, which is coming up in a moment, and we're going to play those 2 games either side of a fixture against Liverpool as well. So if we are going to stay top spot, you guys will find out in this episode. We're also going to find out if we make it through to the semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time. You can see here today, the draws are ready to go. We're going to view both of them in the pots. Atletico Madrid, Isle of Man, Manchester City, PSG, Chelsea, Porto, United, and Real Madrid. 4 English teams in the last 8, which is absolutely ridiculous. 2 Spanish teams, 1 French team, 1 Portuguese team. I think Porto is probably the weakest of those teams, but to be honest, no matter who we play, it's going to be a challenging fixture. So we're just going to hit automatic draw. We're going to let this play through and we're going to see who we get. At the same time, we also have the semi-final draw as well. PSG have drawn Man United, so we dodge those 2 sides. Chelsea have drawn, we're going to see. It's delayed, so it's going to be us. So not only are we duking it out with Chelsea in the Premier Division for that top spot and the league title, we're also going to be fighting it out for a semi-final place in the Champions League as well. In the other ties, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid will have a Madrid derby in their match. Porto are drawn by Manchester City. You'd expect City to get through that one. Now, where does that leave us for the Champions League semi-final as well? We're going to set automatic draw as well to see who might be the final 4. So Chelsea or ourselves will play one of Porto or Man City. I think Man City would be the favourites in that one. And then PSG or United are going to play Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. So there is possibility that it's an all-English final. There's been a few over the years, but it's going to be a pretty difficult ask for us to get beyond Chelsea and Man City in those 2 rounds, or Porto if they surprise everyone and get beyond City in the next round. It sets us up nicely. Where are we going to have those fixtures? I think we're away from home first, which is fantastic. That helps us having the return leg at home. We are, magic of editing, going to jump forward to the away leg against Chelsea now. All right, and just like that, we're a couple of games further ahead. We're still sitting top of the division. That part's great. We've had 2 good victories as well during that period. We beat Southampton 4-1 in a very good performance. Rivera getting a hat-trick in that one. Esteban with a goal from a corner as well. They did score an early goal, which made me think, oh shit, here we go. But Thankfully, we did put our foot down a little bit, got into our rhythm, and made our way through. We then played Tottenham last time out in a 2-1 victory. We scored after a minute, Lucas Gabriel with a wonderful goal and finish. They scored an absolute cracker as well through Sergei Vutlagayev, another Russian wonder kid. We hadn't seen many Russian wonder kids throughout the course of the series, but there's a few that are popping up lately. And they've picked him up from CSKA during January. We did manage to find a winner in the end, though. Jose Santana, a free kick in the 27th minute, which was fantastic. Pablo Rivera also missed a penalty late on. But otherwise, it was a very good performance against what is a very strong Tottenham team. It hasn't come without a cost, though. We have got quite a few issues at the moment. If we have a look at the squad, David Lind is out injured. He's out for between 7 days and 3 weeks. He might make it back for the second leg, but definitely not this first one. Abdesamad is suspended in the Champions League for yellow card accumulation. Ruben Martinez has been out for a couple of weeks. He should be back hopefully by the time the second leg rolls around. Furkan Yilmaz is suspended, and he has an injury, pulled knee ligaments, 5 to 10 days that he's going to be out for. And there are a few players as well, if we go into the tactics screen and look at their overall fitness. Arnaud Henry's just come back from a knock. Lucas Gabriel isn't 100% fit. Bruno Castro is back in the starting lineup after missing the last game with a knock as well. So we've gone through a little bit in the last couple of weeks in terms of overall fitness and overall players ready to go. It's not ideal to have Martinez missing. It's not ideal to have Lind missing. It's not ideal to have the additional depth on the bench that Yilmaz plays with. But I think we can still get a good result in this first leg. We are away from home, so we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go with our positive structure to start with, a little bit deeper, a little bit less intensity, and then if we need to, if it's not going well, we can escalate to our attacking structure in the second half. That's the mentality that I'm going with up here. If we look at our past meetings against Chelsea, they've won 10, we've won 6. Of course, early doors, they absolutely belted us. They had a run of 5 games in a row that they won, but we've not been too bad lately. Kind of tit for tat a little bit. We beat them 4-1 last season. We lost to them 2-0 earlier on this year. 2 very good goals in an earlier episode of the season. I think we can get beyond them if we play well, if we get through. Like, if you take this one where we played them away, we lost 2-0, we won at home though 4-1. Like, that's kind of a good balance. Maybe we just have to figure out a way to manage a 2-legged tie against them, and maybe that's a good way to get through. We drew 3-3 at home in our previous round against Schalke and then demolished them away from home. Maybe we just need to figure out a good balance to get good performances at home and, just respectable performances away. So maybe we just kind of lower expectations for this first leg and see how we go. So, having a look at our lineup first. Mancini in goal. Warburton comes in and will play alongside Esteban at the back. Carlos Andre and Lucas Gabriel, both our Brazilian wingbacks, have been fantastic this season. Henry alongside Santana at the base of midfield. Santana will play as the box-to-box coming into the starting lineup. Harold is the left inverted winger. Castro is the right inverted winger, but we will keep an eye on his fitness. Schaefer will play as the number 10 alongside Rivera up top, our captain and leading scorer for the season. Looking over at Chelsea, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. Every big club in Football Manager this year plays a 4-2-3-1. They've got some fantastic players that we've looked at previously when we've played them before. Calcani in goal, we've played a few times, 32-year-old Italian international, a very good goalkeeper, 3.5 star, current and potential ability. Decent, not super spectacular, but very, very decent. Campbell we've spoken about. It's Bell on the other side we might have a look at here. Will Bell, 5 caps to his name for the English left back, 25 years of age, came through the Chelsea Academy, 3-star current and potential ability. Not spectacular, but still a very, very good player. Scovio we've looked at previously, like an elite level defender. He's 33 years of age now, so he is getting, kind of dropping off a little bit physically at least, but still 4-star current and potential ability. He plays alongside Misbah, who gave us a few issues at set pieces, 25-year-old Welsh international, good ball-playing defender as well. Came through Borough's Academy. Was at Rangers for a spell, was at Chelsea now for a few seasons also. Fleischmann's their leading scorer, Indicachea the leading assist maker, Demiroz scored against us the last time we played them. Fur we played against when he was at Red Bull Leipzig. Paolucci's always a handful. It's a very good lineup. It's not any surprise, I think, that they are towards the top of the division. Assertively, we're going to say we owe Chelsea after what happened in our last match, and maybe that can give everyone a bit of incentive to try and get a good result. We'll switch this over and have a look at the Champions League results and maybe Chelsea's formation. We might keep an eye on that. Even though it is a 4-2-3-1, they are playing with 2 defensive midfielders, which I think gives us a little bit more space in midfield than 2 centre mids sometimes does. Indicachea's got a lot of free ball though here. Demiroz. Santana was there. I thought we were going to win that back for a second, but ball across to Russo. Looks to cut inside. Demiroz looks for Campbell on the overlap. Well cut out by Harold. Now Carlos Andre. What can we do on the counter-attack here? Santana into midfield. Andre again. We've got numbers around. He's gone long though. Rivera's gotten off the shoulder. Wide left-footed player. He had it on his right side, but Calcani with a good save pushes it out for the corner. And early doors, there is some space in behind that we can exploit. Gabriel with the corner in. It's cleared. Rivera should recover. Can he get a good ball back in? Finds Santana. Back across to Castro. Can beat a man in 1v1. Tries to get across him, but it's closed down well. Out for the goal kick as the highlight comes to an end. Here we go. Carlos Andre coming forward. Henri in possession. Across to Santana. It's a dangerous ball though. Into Kachea has won it back. Square ball to Paolucci. Got to send him to the right-hand side. It's a good save from Mancini. Had a lot of power on it. Out for the corner. It's only going to take them a couple of chances to score a few goals. Into Kachea is going to take the corner here. Near post. And it's flicked on by Fleischmann. Thankfully straight at Mancini, who does very well to save and hold. Good reaction save. Highlight continues as we go a long ball forward to Harold. He's got a bit of space in front of him, but he is slowing up here. Back to Henri. Can we work the switch out to the other side? Santana looks to send it to the right. Castro is going to recover the ball from Bell and gets the strike away. Calcani with another excellent save. Just pushes it around the far post. Both sides having chances in the opening 13 minutes. Gabriel from the corner towards near post. Scovio with a good header away. Fleischmann comes forward. Got to be careful of these counter-attacks. This will be the second one from a corner, and he's gotten goal side, and Mancini does very well. I think Henri did a fantastic job tracking the run. Just slowed him down enough that Mancini was out to come out and smother the ball. In the other game, City have taken a 2-0 lead against Porto. PSG are up against Man United. Real Madrid up against Atletico Madrid. And we are getting close to the half an hour mark as well. So what we might do is we might use a quick demand more shout just with 10 minutes remaining in the half. 0-0 at half time, not the worst result in the world. You would think it probably puts more pressure on Chelsea to come out and be a bit more attacking in the second half than us. Most responded positively, and we're through half-time now. So 11 shots, 6 on target, 43% possession for Chelsea. 9 shots, 6 on target, 57% of the ball for the Isle of Man. Jump into the dressing room. We're going to assertively tell everyone I'm happy with your performance so far. Keep it up, and everyone seems delighted, which is good. There are a lot of 6.6s, 6.5s out there. Only Santana on a yellow card as we enter the second half. As always, we'll give it 15 minutes, look at the hour mark, and then look at making a couple of changes to try and freshen things up. But really, 0-0 in the first leg isn't the worst result in the world for us. And that hour has arrived very quickly. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to make some changes. Schaefer's not had a great game. We might bring on Kozlov. Hasn't played that much. I don't think you guys have seen much of him in episodes this season, but he's been decent. He's been solid. We've also got Harold's not playing particularly well. I'm going to bring on Matteo, and we'll just see how we go. Let's assertively say, I've got faith in you. Make a difference. All right, we're going to hit play, and we're going to use Old Faithful. A get creative shout after an hour usually does the trick. In terms of positive response, you can see it's their central defence and their keeper that have had the highest ratings. Just as I've said that, Demiroz has gone up to a 7. Castro, wide free kick, backstick ball towards Jamie Warburton. Is he onside? Is it Esteban that nodded at home? It might have been both of our centre-backs right there. And with 15 minutes to go, we might have a valuable away goal in the tie. Castro with a great whip ball in towards back stick. Calcani flaps at it, and it's Esteban in the end that nods home into an empty net. All right, now what do we do? I'm not panicking. Great, they've got an immediate highlight. Fur comes forward, right-hand side. Carlos Andre closes him down well. Back to Demiroz. Gannon on the overlap at right back. Cut back. Esteban, good header away. Into Kachea. Back to Gannon again. Sub off the bench. Fur tries to knock it in. It falls to him again, and thankfully drives the shot just beyond far post. Warburton, man, everything bad that happens to us runs through Warburton for whatever reason. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to hit pause. Got one more sub up our sleeve. Santana's on a yellow card. We're going to bring on Hisham Haji. Which is risky because he shits me up the wall sometimes as well. And we're going to hit demand more. We're a little bit understaffed. We just need to get through the remaining couple of minutes of this match. And it'll be a famous victory. They've moved to a 4-3-2, it looks like. Calcani with the ball forward. Scovio into Demiroz, who looks to be playing a little bit further forward. Fleischmann out wide to Dung on the overlap. They're looking desperately for a cutback goal here. Third, Heinen, and that was their chance. If that had been on target, we'd have been in some trouble. They've gone to like the old 4-3-3 hactic from FM19, 3 up top, just to cause problems. 4 minutes of additional time, which we're through now, and the referee calls full time. It's a phenomenal first leg performance. 20 shots, 10 on target, 43% of the ball for Chelsea. 17 shots, 10 on target, 57% for FC Isle of Man, and a 1-0 victory against Chelsea. Phenomenal stuff. Passionately, we're going to say, really special, lads. Nobody gave you a chance, but you played magnificently, and everyone's responded fantastically well to it. In other results, PSG and United drew 3-3. Real Madrid beat Atletico 2-1. City beat Porto 3-0 away from home. You'd expect them to get through on the strength of that result. Mancini gets the Man of the Match award, 7.6 with 5 held saves. And there's a whole bunch of different people scouting our players, which is ridiculous. We don't have much time to turn around. We've got a game against Liverpool, which we're going to play at Anfield off screen. So I'm going to give everyone one rest day that started this one. I'm not going to try and rush back for that fixture. Lind, Abdesamad, Martinez, any of those players. We are going to just try and keep consistency in the lineup. We're going to try and get them fit and ready to go for the return leg against Chelsea. But magic of editing, we're going to jump forward to the second leg now. All right, just like that, we're a week ahead. Now, unfortunately, we have dropped off the top of the Premier Division table. We could only muster a 1-1 draw away at Anfield with Leeds. Sorry, with Liverpool. Leeds don't play there, but Leeds played Liverpool this past weekend. Maybe that's why. Henri Blaise, who I talk about every time we played Liverpool, went on a magnificent run from one 18-yard box to the other and found the finish in the 5th minute, which was very frustrating. We had chances, to be honest. They had chances as well in the second half, but 1-1 in the end. Paul Harold thankfully getting the equaliser for us on 28 minutes. It does mean that Chelsea go top of the Premier Division as things currently stand, 2 points clear. We do have a different run home. I'll go through those after this game. I desperately now want to hold this 1-0 lead and knock them out of this competition. I think that would be phenomenal for us. We are favourites, but they're in better form. Strong form, even despite that defeat against us. We've got 2 draws in our last 5. They've got Scovio out with fractured ribs, Indicachea out with a pulled calf muscle, Rob Batch doubtful with a pulled calf muscle as well. We've got Lind out. Furkan Yilmaz is also going to be out as well, but I don't think he's nominated as being a key player. What is my assistant going to suggest here? They always suggest Haji in midfield, and I never want to go along with it. But I think that's pretty much close to what I would pick anyway. Let's tidy up our defence here. You can see Lind not ready. We're not going to risk it. You can see Yilmaz not ready. We're not going to risk that either. Martinez doesn't actually need a fitness test. Maybe he could start, but he's only on 86% condition. So I'm going to go with Schaefer, given how well he played. We're also going to go to our attacking structure. I think that helps. But we've got a backup centre-back, a left-back, a central midfielder, a right winger, a left winger, and a forward on the bench. Every position pretty much covered, as long as Lucas Gabriel doesn't get injured. But Frank Richard can do a job at right back if we need him to. So we're going with Mancini in goal. Abdesamad comes back into the lineup alongside Esteban, Carlos Andre and Gabriel as the fullbacks, Henri and Santana in midfield, Harold and Castro as the wingers, and Schaefer and Rivera leading the line up top. Couple of changes for Chelsea. Indicachea out, so Joseph Heinen, an old wonder kid that used to play for Borussia Dortmund a few years ago. He comes in, also very good. Decent advance forward, decent shadow striker and attacking midfielder as well. It's pretty much a like-for-like replacement. I don't think they're giving away that much quality. Goff comes in midfield for the injured Scovio. Decent as well, 33-year-old English central defender, 147 caps to his name. So he's no slouch. Came through the Millwall Academy, was evident for a bit, and has been at Chelsea for the last few seasons. 33 now though. Maybe we can take advantage of some of his physical attributes if we can get him behind. Paolucci moves to the left wing, which I think means they've dropped someone else out of the squad entirely as well. It should be an interesting one. The first leg was, I think, an interesting tie. Hopefully the second leg can live up to the same. Assertively, we're going to say we cannot allow complacency to undo all the good work we did in the first leg, and everyone's responded positively or focused, which is fantastic to see. Let's switch this over to Champions League scores to keep an eye on the other legs. Looks like Atletico Madrid have taken a lead in their game, which would put them ahead on goal difference. City absolutely demolishing Porto on aggregate. But really, our focus at the moment is on Goodison Park, where we're currently renting from Everton, as we look to try and bring a Champions League trophy or a Champions League semi-final to the Isle of Man for the first time in our history. Interesting that they have gone with the 4-2-3-1 with the 2 deep midfielders. We did see them switch to that 4-3-3 late on. And this game is rocketing by. We're going to hit demand more with 10 minutes remaining in the half. First highlight of the game starts with the Chelsea throw-in. Demiroz at the base of midfield. Henri's right there with him. Russo now, pressed by Santana. Demiroz, switch out towards the right-hand side. Carlos Andre's out there, but Fur's gotten to the ball first. Cut back towards Paolucci in the header, thankfully just over the crossbar. I think Mancini had it covered regardless. Defence was in position the whole time. Castro, wide free kick towards back stick. Esteban has put another one home. It's pretty similar to the goal that we got in the first game, to be honest. A lovely whip ball from the right-hand side from Castro. Keeper can't get anywhere near it. And Esteban just rises like a salmon at back stick, nods it near post. Calcani again gets a big chunk of it, but can only push it into the side netting. And we're 2 goals up on aggregate and 1-0 up on the day. It would take a couple of goals for Chelsea to get beyond us at this point. 1 to win the leg, and then also to win on away goals. And as we get to half-time, 9 shots, 6 on target, 44% possession for Isle of Man. 8 shots, 3 on target, 56% of the ball for Chelsea. We are going to assertively say again, can I say... What is this one? Don't look at the scoreboard and think the job is done. We have to pick up where we just left off, and everyone seems to have responded positively, which is great. There's a couple of 6.5s, 6.6s, 6.7s out there. We'll give it 15 minutes. They've immediately got a highlight, which is always terrifying. Goff with the ball into midfield. Russo, Heinen, who we haven't seen much of yet. Russo again, back to Demiroz. Switch out to the left-hand side. Carlos Andre should recover, but he can't head it to advantage. Harold's won it back off Fur in a great area, though. Drags a defender across. Can he work a good ball back into the box? Cut back for Carlos Andre. Now Henri. Back to Carlos Andre again. Work the square ball, boys. Gets into the area. Goes for the strike. Harold with the follow-up. Calcani equal to it, though. Saves and holds. Is this highlight going to continue? We've gotten our bodies back pretty well, but Heinen's goal side in midfield. Ball over the top. Fleischmann is miles offside. He's put it in the back of the net. I think he flicked a header over the keeper. but this is going to be brought back for offside, and he was a good 2 or 3 yards ahead of the defensive line. End-to-end stuff, though, in both games at the moment. McKinnon's gotten sent off, English midfielder who used to be of Chelsea in Real Madrid's tie, so maybe Atletico's on track to get through. Abdesamad, clearance away, Rivera. Forward out now to Schaefer, who's picked up a bit of a knock. Carlos Andre on the overlap. We're flying forward. Harold, square ball to him, left-hand side. Can he find the cut back to Rivera? He can indeed. It's the 30th goal of the season for the tiny Mexican. He has been absolutely magnificent this season. He's really benefited from playing 2 up top. Someone else there to drag defenders away from him. Good overlapping run here from Carlos Andre. Finds Paul Harold, gets to the line, cuts it back. You don't see many cutbacks in Football Manager this year. 9 times out of 10, he probably hits side netting, but it's a wonderful ball, and Rivera just has the simplest of tap homes from a few yards out to give us the 2-goal advantage. We've got the ball here again. Carlos Andre has been excellent. Tries to get a ball in, but it's cleared away. Santana will recover at the base of midfield. Lucas Gabriel couldn't bring it under. Gives it back to Fleshman. Clearance isn't great, though. Bell with a long one forward now to Paolucci. Back to Russo in midfield. Now Demiroz, Heinen. You can see that they just want to try and put that ball over the top for Paolucci to chase, but we want it back and send it out to the right-hand side for Rivera. He beats one. He gets the strike away. Calcani, great save just over the crossbar. Corner to be taken by Gabriel towards back stick. Misbar heads it away and the highlight comes to an end. We're through the hour, so we're going to hit pause as well. Schaefer's got a bit of a knock, so we're going to take him off and bring on Martinez for 30 minutes to try and get the most out of him. That Mexican front two, hopefully we can get a good response from them. Santana's not had a bad game, not a great game either. I don't think we need to panic too much in that one. Let's just switch him out for Haji, just like for the 2 subs. Let's assertively say we've got faith in them as well. A bit of fresh legs up top, fresh legs in midfield. Defense is doing well. We don't have to worry too much there at the moment. We might make that one of our last subs though. We've also used Old Faithful to get creative shout after an hour. Throw in here for Chelsea, 72 minutes played. Fleshman cut back to Cordy, fresh off the bench. It's pinballing around. Gonzalez gets a chance at it. Fleshman tries to keep it in, and then Gabriel draws it away. A wonderful double save there from Mancini. Throwing on the left now for us. It's breathless stuff at the moment. Harold with the strike, but Calcani equal to it. Just end-to-end highlights at present. I'm having trouble keeping up. I don't know how you guys are getting on wherever you're watching from. 10 minutes. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to make that last sub. And we're just going to go on condition, which at the moment, Lucas Gabriel down to 67%. We're going to bring on Frank Richard. He's not super comfortable as a right wing back, but fresh legs in that spot I think is going to help us quite a bit. And we're also going to use a Demand More shout with about 10 minutes remaining, just to hopefully give everyone some focus through to full time. Highlight here, Esteban with a deep free kick. Haji, good reverse pass. Castro to Rivera. And he's got the overlap there from Richard, but Rivera beats the man. Tries to get it back on his left, goes back stick to Harold. Calcani with a great save and then scrambles it away. Gonzalez, long one forward to Fleshman. They're coming straight back at us here. The 2v2 at the back, but it's a great tackle there from Abdesamad. Gets it out for the goal kick, allows us to recover our shape. They're showing us the highlight of it crossing the line. It never crosses the line, Football Manager. Take that out in next year's game. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this one for a famous victory in Europe. Come on, boys. And the referee calls full time. What a performance across the 2 legs. 24 shots, 16 on target, 42% possession for the Isle of Man. 13 shots, 5 on target, 58% of the ball for Chelsea. Passionately, we are going to say, very happy with the result and the way that you played. And everyone has responded fantastically well. That sets us up for a bumper tie. Again, it's going to be Premier League opposition as we get City in the semi-final. They go through on aggregate 7-0 against Porto, which is ridiculous. United beat PSG to make it through. 3 English sides in the semi-finals is guaranteed at least one English team in the final itself. They'll play Real Madrid, who go through on away goals against Atletico, despite going down to 10 men, getting a goal through Matteo Turin, who used to be of Arsenal, in extra time to see them through. What a tie that must have been. 92nd minute winner. Madrid might have thought they had. 111th minute goal as well, but then they get pegged back in extra time. Absolutely crazy stuff. Demiroz gets the man of the match, which is an interesting one. I didn't think he did that much. Schaefer's got an injury, but we'll figure out a way to get beyond that. And it draws us against Man City in the next round, which should be tomorrow's episode. Henri's a little bit tired. We might give him a bit of a spell. Everyone's in for Esteban. Everyone's in for our Mexican players. We've qualified for the Europa League. Everything's happening at the moment. And we don't actually have that long before the games against Man City, which is what we're going to play in tomorrow's episode. We're going to come back. We'll do the Man City semi-final. We're at home in the first leg. We'll play the Everton game off screen. And then we're also going to play Man City in the return leg away at the City of Manchester Stadium, or the Etihad, or whatever you want to call it. 2 huge fixtures as we look to potentially make our first ever Champions League final. Absolutely insane stuff. I'll tell you what, between yesterday's episode, that bumper episode with 3 games, and today, where we've played a whole bunch of different games between our legs, we have played a lot of Football Manager lately. Not that I'm complaining, I love the game and I love it when we're winning. If you want to help me celebrate, drop a like on this video, or you can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they continue to release. But more than anything, guys, I just appreciate you watching and coming along for the ride. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.